The FBI announced today that two major operations, one involving the sharing of insider information for betting on NBA games, and the other centering on rigged poker games using high-tech cheating technology, have led to the arrest of more than 30 suspects, some involved in organized crime, and 3 with NBA ties, including Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Blazers, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier.
The National Basketball Association is in full-blown damage control mode tonight. The league, its players, and fans are all reeling from a bombshell federal investigation that has ended with the arrests of major figures inside the NBA. This isn't just a story about a few bad bets. This is a story that cuts to the very heart of the league. A narrative of alleged corruption so deep it involves not just players and a coach, but purported ties to organized crime. The integrity of the game itself is now under a microscope, and every fan is left asking the same question. Is the game we're watching on the level? We have massive breaking news that could shake the NBA to its foundations.
Don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
2 active figures, a star player and a celebrated head coach, have been arrested as part of a huge sports gambling investigation. We're not just talking about placing a few bets here. We're talking about a dark, alleged network of fixed games, faked injuries, and mafia-run poker schemes that threatens the very integrity of the sport we love. This is one of the biggest scandals in modern American sports history, and it's all unfolding right now. Here's what we know. On Thursday, October 23, 2025, federal prosecutors unsealed 2 sweeping indictments that sent shockwaves through the sports world. In a coordinated sting, the FBI and the NYPD arrested over 30 individuals across multiple states, but 3 names stood out. Names every basketball fan knows: Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones. Terry Rozier, the star guard for the Miami Heat known as Scary Terry, was arrested in Orlando right as the NBA season was tipping off. Chauncey Billups, a beloved former Finals MVP, a recent Hall of Fame inductee, and the current head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, was arrested in Portland. And Damon Jones, a former NBA player and assistant coach, was also taken into custody, charged with participating in both alleged schemes and acting as a link in this chain of corruption. The news broke so fast the league was left scrambling.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
In a statement, the NBA announced that both Rozier and Billups were being placed on immediate administrative leave pending a review of the indictments. Commissioner Adam Silver, in his first public comments, said he was deeply disturbed by the news, stating, "There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting." And he has every reason to be upset, because the details within these federal indictments are breathtaking. Prosecutors are alleging 2 separate but related schemes. The first is a classic sports betting operation, centered on using insider information to manipulate bets. The second, and maybe more shocking, is an operation involving rigged, high-stakes poker games allegedly backed by prominent New York mafia families. According to the FBI, this has been a multi-year investigation into an enterprise that has generated tens of millions of dollars through fraud and extortion. This isn't just about a few players breaking rules. This is a criminal enterprise that has allegedly infiltrated the world of professional basketball. So how did we get here? How did a star player and a decorated coach allegedly end up at the center of a federal investigation this big? The indictments paint a damning and detailed picture of 2 interconnected worlds of deceit. Let's start with Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier was on the bench in Orlando for the Heat's season opener there. And then within hours this morning at 6 a.m. local time in both areas, in Portland, Oregon and in Orlando, Florida, both were arrested, met in an Orlando hotel in Rozier's case, and in Chauncey Billups' home in Portland. They were both arrested. 2 different cases though here. One is essentially a mafia-led situation that Chauncey Billups is a part of, where he's accused of being a member. They called it a face card at these illegal poker fixing situations, events happening all over the country.
The case against him centers on the popular world of prop bets, wagers on an individual player's stats. According to federal prosecutors, Rozier was directly involved in manipulating his own on-court performance for betting profits. The indictment highlights a specific game in February 2023 when Rozier was with the Charlotte Hornets. On that night, Rozier allegedly told co-conspirators beforehand that he planned to fake an injury and leave the game early. Armed with this insider info, the betting ring allegedly placed over $200,000 in wagers on Rozier's under lines, betting he would score fewer points, get fewer rebounds, and dish out fewer assists than the sportsbooks predicted. Rozier played just 9.5 minutes of that game before exiting, citing an injury. The bets all hit. Prosecutors allege Rozier received a cut of the illicit winnings. His lawyer has stated that Rozier is not a gambler and was previously cleared by an NBA investigation, a point we'll come back to because it is absolutely critical to this story. Then there's the case against Chauncey Billups.
Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups linked to an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia.
His alleged involvement is different, but no less disturbing. Prosecutors claim Billups was part of a scheme to rig high-stakes poker games backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families.
Committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
In this scheme, wealthy individuals called fish were lured into games with the promise of playing alongside famous athletes. Billups and Damon Jones allegedly acted as these face cards, using their celebrity to give the games an air of legitimacy. But what these victims didn't know was that the entire game was a setup. The indictment alleges the use of sophisticated cheating methods, including hidden cameras, altered card shuffling machines, and even X-ray tables to secure wins. These games, held in lavish spots in New York, Miami, and Las Vegas, allegedly fleeced victims out of hundreds of thousands of dollars a pop. Billups' attorney released a statement vehemently denying the charges, saying it's unbelievable that Billups would risk his celebrated legacy for a card game. The alleged connection between these two worlds is Damon Jones, who is charged in both indictments. He not only allegedly participated in the rigged poker games, but is also accused of being a key source of insider information for the sports betting ring, including, according to the indictment, details about the game status of LeBron James. It is this overlap that reveals what prosecutors describe as a sprawling criminal network.
Involves 6 defendants who are alleged to have participated in one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams.
Where the lines between the NBA and the criminal underworld became dangerously blurred. This story is developing by the hour, and the fallout is just beginning. If you're getting value from this breakdown and want to stay updated on what could be the biggest scandal in NBA history, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. But the story doesn't end there. To really understand the gravity of all this, we need to look at the league's complicated history with gambling. This isn't the NBA's first brush with a betting scandal. Many fans will immediately think of Tim Donaghy in the 2000s, the referee caught betting on games he was officiating, a scandal that cast doubt on entire playoff series. Before that, in the 1980s, there were scandals involving New York Knicks players and their ties to gambling. But there's a huge difference between then and now. In those days, gambling was a dark secret, an activity universally condemned by the leagues. Today, the opposite is true. The NBA, like all major sports leagues, has jumped into bed with the sports betting industry. You can't watch a game without being bombarded by ads for DraftKings and FanDuel. Betting odds are now integrated directly into broadcasts. The league decided that the financial rewards of embracing sports betting outweighed the risks to its integrity.
But yeah, the NBA didn't find enough evidence there, but the FBI is under no jurisdiction to have to share their information with the NBA. Clearly, the way this was done by Kash Patel and federal investigators, that started in the Eastern District of New York, this was done in a silo. This was done closed-mouthed between all those sides, and I don't know how much they were able to share or even shared with the NBA.
This scandal exposes the fundamental conflict at the heart of modern sports. The league wants to profit from the billion-dollar gambling industry, while claiming to protect the integrity of the game. But as this case shows, you can't always have it both ways. The very thing the NBA is selling is now being used as a weapon against it, turning player performances and injury reports into commodities for a criminal market. This isn't just about a few bad apples. It's about the consequences of a systemic shift in the league's relationship with gambling. Maybe the most damning part of this whole affair is that the NBA had a clear warning. This problem didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Just last year, in 2024, Commissioner Adam Silver handed down a lifetime ban to Toronto Raptors player Jontay for an almost identical scheme. Porter was found to have been manipulating his own on-court performance to make sure that under-prop bets placed by his associates would hit. He faked an illness to exit a game early, ensuring the bets cashed. Sound familiar? It's nearly the exact same playbook federal prosecutors are now accusing Terry Rozier of running.
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting.
The Jontay Porter case should have been a massive red flag for the entire league. It was a clear demonstration of how vulnerable prop betting is to corruption and how players themselves could be the biggest threat. Silver's lifetime ban was meant to be a powerful deterrent, a line in the sand for every other player. And yet, here we are, just over a year later, with a scandal that is exponentially larger.
My condolences to the Porter family, particularly Michael Porter Jr., a star forward for the reigning defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets. That's his brother, who was just banned for life. But the reality is that he deserved to be banned. Everybody knows you can't bet on your own sport. You shouldn't be betting on your own sport. You damn sure shouldn't be limiting your own competition and leaking confidential information to bettors.
What's worse is that the league had a chance to stop this. According to multiple reports, sports betting watchdogs flagged unusual betting patterns around Terry Rozier's game almost immediately. The NBA conducted its own internal investigation into Rozier in early 2024. They met with him, looked into it, and according to their own statements, they ultimately cleared him, finding no violation of league rules. How? How did the NBA's internal investigation, looking at the same incident, find nothing, while a federal investigation uncovered a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise? This failure raises serious questions about the league's internal oversight. Was the league not equipped to handle an investigation this complex, or was it simply unwilling to dig too deep, afraid of what it might find? Either way, it looks like a crucial warning sign was missed, allowing this alleged network to keep operating for over a year after it was first flagged, leading to the crisis the NBA faces today. The fallout from these arrests will be swift and brutal.
One of those things where if somebody asks you if a certain player is playing, you say no. So all these guys knew what was at stake, and I'm just ashamed that they put themselves and put their family and put the NBA in this position. We all know the rules, we all know the letter of the law, and it's just unfortunate. Innocent till proven guilty, but usually when the FBI has something.
The Trail Blazers now have to navigate a season without their head coach, a man they just signed to a multi-year extension. The Miami Heat lose a key starting player in a highly competitive Eastern Conference. But the damage goes far beyond the records of two teams. This scandal has cast a cloud of suspicion over the entire league. From this day forward, every questionable injury, every time a star player sits out for load management, every unexpectedly bad performance will be seen through a lens of suspicion. Fans will be left to wonder if they are watching a real contest or a performance staged for gamblers. That doubt is poison to a sports league. It erodes the single most valuable asset the NBA has, the trust of its fans. The belief that the game is fair and the outcome isn't predetermined is the bedrock of the entire enterprise.
This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity.
Now, I want to turn it over to you. What do you think the league's punishment should be? Is a lifetime ban enough for this level of alleged betrayal? And more importantly, can the NBA ever truly separate itself from the world of gambling now that it's so deeply ingrained in the business of the sport? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading and responding. This story is far from over, and we'll be here to cover every single development.